Reuters. Trump bashing will backfire on the EU, a Hungarian minister has warned. Mr. Szijjártó said criticizing the White House administration is bound to backfire and called for an end to the latest round of U.S. bashing. He insisted positive engagement was the only way to avoid more economic pain brought on by the restoration of heavy trade tariffs. He said, "I always urge our friends in the European Union not to play this new sport, which is called bashing the United States, because the more our European friends that bash the U.S., the more negative impact they will cause with that," he said. The more our European friends that bash the U.S., the more negative impact they will cause with that. Mr. Szijjártó's appeal came after the Trump administration declared the EU, Canada and Mexico were no longer be exempt from sweeping metals tariffs that imposed 25% and 10% duties on steel and aluminum imports. EU leaders expressed staunch opposition to the move and are planning tit-for-tat measures on U.S. goods. But Hungary has a lot to lose from a trade war with Washington. The U.S. is its largest trading partner outside the EU, and it has enjoyed robust investment inflows thanks to a large manufacturing base, particularly in the lucrative auto sector. Mr. Szijjártó, speaking from the sidelines of the annual Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) forum in Paris, said, "Now you can imagine a position of an export-oriented country when the number one export market and the number one non-EU export market go into a trade war. It can be very, very harmful for us." Getty. Hungarian Foreign Affairs and Trade Minister Mr. Szijjártó. Hungary is one of the few enthusiastic supporter of the Trump administration within the EU, with nationalist leader Viktor Orban declaring himself a fan of the billionaire property tycoon and his hardline stance on issues like migration, border security and traditional family values. Mr. Szijjártó, Mr. Trump definitely represents an honest, straightforward way of communication. He definitely gets rid of hypocrisy and political correctness, but I think the bashing of him in the United States was too much. So what I think is that we need to re-engage in a dialogue with the United States. We should strengthen this dialogue in order to avoid harmful situations. We have never been part of the U.S. bashing chorus in Europe. Getty. Donald Trump has slapped tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. The Orban and Trump governments share a common disdain for what they deem to be the political establishment, and both have garnered subtle and overt disapproval from the same EU leaders. Mr. Szijjártó said, "I'm really fed up with the comments that are always being put on decisions of the Hungarian government without knowing anything about the facts, and sometimes I feel that this is not only done to us but done to others."